This week on Big Eyes, the future of Jump is looking very interesting as we head into this break week on Weekly Shonen Jump. These eight were kind of hard to choose on, especially with some glaring omissions, but we had to ultimately choose them for episode 109. Let's get it.
The Big Eyes Podcast.
I didn't change my mind. I can't lie.
Hey man,
I gotta just talk because if we keep trying to discuss it, I'm gonna change my mind.
I know, man, but like it's just crazy that we end up on this type of week, man. Also, welcome to the Big Eyes Podcast, episode 109. 80 and LJ back at it again. We were sitting here having a discussion about these rankings because Jump goes on break this upcoming week, and we've had a hard time like ranking stuff over the last couple of weeks. It's been fun trying to talk about whether or not we like these chapters better than other ones in terms of like where they are in the story, like impact, character moments, all of that stuff, man. But it's just like this week only one actual manga stood out above the rest, and everything else we just really had to like sit down and be like, is this really better? Like, oh no, like so. It's just been a crazy week.
I think that's the best way we could put it. Is that there was one true standout, and when we reveal the list, you'll hear it. But there was one real standout. Everything else, it wasn't that nothing else was like significantly weaker.
Yeah,
But I think that when we're talking about we're going on week, this has been an anticipated to break. Like we've known about this break for a minute. Um, you get this anticipated break and stopping point and where we feel like, okay, this is where these things have stopped at, is where we see them at. That played a big role. And like, did anything really move the needle before they went on break, or really try to take some type of risk um before going on break? And yeah, that's where we're at with it. Like we're
yeah,
like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Who actually attempted to move their story forward, or did a lot of things like where things just wrapping up, and even though they're wrapping up, they still felt in like the same place.
yeah. And that's where it really falls with a lot of these things. Like as you'll see, like we really did like an extensive like I think we reread chapters twice over just to make sure we really wasn't tripping on stuff, man. Once we reveal the rankings, you'll really see what we're talking about with these eight. Um, but I think we can start off with some news first, man.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. First news: the 16th Japan International Manga Award opens for entries. What this really means is that artists or writers of non-Japanese origin can enter this competition, and they can get their manga published, and it'll take place on in Tokyo on February 2023. So that's a good thing to come out for people who want to partake in the manga industry. Get recognized for their works because Japan always has they always have their especially Jump. They always have their competitions and contests. Like we had the million tag competition last year. They always have like the rookie awards or whatever. Um,
That's cool that they actually are doing something, um, like for international like writers and people who are like fans of mangas um that like aren't Japanese, or so that's tight. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And entries are open until July 8th. So, if you want to apply, go ahead and do it now.
Hopefully you see some black manga writers.
Yeah, man, that's really
That'd be
what I want to
fire.
see. Like, I want to see some more black manga writers, at least comic writers. Somebody in there, man. Representing, man. That would be dope. Uh, Next up, Yuki Tsunaga and Keiki Hayashiya who are the writer and Rakugo supervisor of Akane Banashi, will be appearing on Fumio Takada's Radio Beverly Noon. It's a Japanese radio station on May 25th, and they're going to be doing some Rakugo special programs. I think it's dope that they're
They
promoting.
live in their raps.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love when our mangaka live in raps.
exactly.
So you know what? Shout out to them. No, that's cool though that they're doing that. They're like actually promoting like what they're doing. I think that's going to be really fun. What you call it? And they've been popular. They
Yeah,
received a color page and everything.
yeah, man.
Um, what you call it? Yeah, they received a color page. Heroes of Chorus received a color page. Undead on Luck.
Yeah,
Man, all these little new ones have been kind of making some noise. Kind of
yeah,
Banashe definitely really happy
yeah.
for that.
Speaking of new manga, there's going to be a new serialization coming. It is called Awesome Smartphone. Let me see if I can pull up the thing.
That shit is not selling me.
hold
It's not
on,
selling
hold
me.
on, hold on. All right. So here it is. Here it is. So Awesome Smartphone by Hiroki Tomisawa and Kentaro Idano will be starting its serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump issue 23. Story narrates a modern suspense of a high school student who picks up a phone that can search anything.
That's Death Note with a tablet.
It is.
I don't know how I feel about that though. That nigga have a wild search history. Search anything. Ooh, and
Man.
he not doing it on private. He a
Oh,
freak hole.
he hacking in everybody's bank account. What
Ugh.
he
But
he
it can
the
only search though, right? It could search anything. I guess you could just say, "Hey, what's this nigga's bank number?
let
This
me
nigga
let me
debit
see if
card
I can put
number."
my camera up and scan your wallet from over here.
That'd be wild.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
search
saying.
anything? That's
I'm saying it.
crazy.
Just thinking about it now, don't you think, bruh?
I don't know. Okay, maybe it depends on how crazy this man goes.
Yeah,
The crazier, the better.
I'm saying you gotta really like make it wild. What do you mean by anything? Like,
Jump plus it. Fuck it.
yeah,
Jump plus it.
yeah.
Why not? Get all the way just crazy with it.
Hey
Don't
yo,
even care anymore.
hey man. Speaking of Jump Plus, there was a new manga that came out on Jump Plus this past week called Marriage Toxin. Um,
That's
it,
done by the Akutame's assistant, right? Or
yep,
past assistant.
yep. And they also worked on Neolation.
I don't know what
Um,
that is. I know
it,
you were
it
telling me about Marriage Toxin though. You telling me
yeah,
to read it.
yeah. I read the first chapter. It's not bad. It's a really dope first chapter. I'm not gonna hold you. I want to see where it goes. Um, I'm not gonna say too much about it because you know, check it out for yourself. Maybe we'll talk about it next week or on a future um Big Eyes rankings. But
Oh yeah, this week we can get straight into it. I feel the other
yeah,
couple news things are all tied into this.
yeah, pretty
What's going
much,
on?
pretty
So
much.
this week, a tough one, but whew, we're going through the Big Eyes rankings for this week of April 24th, the weekend of April 24th, and starting off number one, kicking it off, Black Clover gets the title this week. So shout out to
Yep.
Black Clover for number one. Number two, My Hero Academia. Number three, Blue Box. Number four, Ashiman. Number five, One Piece. Number six, My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Number seven, Undead Unluck. And number eight, Baruto. Now, we kicked off this episode. I was fighting tooth and nail to get Jujutsu Kaisen on this week's list. It has been a very general census that Akutame has been off his game. I don't know if the lights are too bright. He's putting on a very Kevin Durant esque, Brooklyn Nets esque performance.
Mm,
But I don't I fought, man. I fought for it. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, people. I fought to get it on. It was real Hikari hours. It wasn't a bad chapter. I don't think no
It
one
was
thinks
not a
it
bad
was
chapter.
bad. No one thinks it was bad, but it felt like something he's done before. And then ending it with the cliffhanger of the domain expansion.
Yeah,
I, they y'all got some sour taste in your mouth of how the last domain expansion went. Megumi's kind of botched domain expansion wasn't a moment that I think everyone loved. So we're getting a third attempt, but this time we're
yeah,
doing it with Hikari. I mean I don't know. It looked like it was set up for something good.
yeah. No, it was definitely set up for something good, but it's just like I. It's not to say that it was a bad chapter either. I think for Hikari, and we're getting a little bit more about him and his techniques, and then we're jumping into his domain expansion without actually directly seeing his curse technique. It's kind of dope to see, especially when he's about gambling and his domain expansion is like, I think it's called like Idle Gambler or something like that. Um, I think that it's a good setup, and it could potentially be anywhere in the rankings next week, depending on how it executes. I just don't want it to be like, and I don't expect it to be like the triple domain expansion, because there's only two people here. It's either going to be one or the other. So I don't think he's gonna pull that type of move again. However, I just want to see it actually like go somewhere. I want to see overwhelming, like, no, Hikari's domain expansion is kind of wild. You know what I mean? Like, I need to see more from it, because we had an incomplete one, like you said, and that's all fine and dandy. We had a new sorcerer use a domain expansion on Yuji before that with Higuruma. Then we had the triple domain expansion to like show, okay, this is what happens when three clash at one time. But now we're getting Hikari's. I want to see like overwhelming, like, nah, bro, you never had a chance to begin with. You started this fight, you provoked
I
it,
mean,
like.
that's how it looks anyways, this fight looks this is a squash match. This is really much a squash match, and we're just seeing Hikari be OP. Like, I mean, they even said that Hikari's one of the strongest.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Like,
I just
he's
want
the
to see
strongest
it.
third year, damn near.
That's all it is, man. I really just
He's
want to see
built
it.
different.
I really want to see it happen.
But yeah, but we decided to leave JJK off. I threw up a little in my mouth doing it, but it's okay. I had to bite the bullet. I tried. Um, but no, Black Clover. Obviously, I mean they're taking. This is gonna be their hiatus is gonna be longer than everybody else's. So,
Yeah, they're
don't
going on 3
know.
months.
Yeah, 3 months. That's
Yeah, they
a
said 3 months.
so a 3 month layoff for Black Clover. I think what they did this week to truly set themselves up for success, feeling like and obviously they're going into their final arc. This is crazy. We're losing some big dogs.
Yeah,
Clover is going too with
I'm
My
saying.
Hero and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Exactly. I was saying earlier, like, this is Black Clover's like biggest moment, biggest point in this series, and it's already announcing that it's the actual final arc. Like, but so here's the other thing: we don't know how long this arc is actually going to take, and he's taking this break, to recuperate, get healthy, get in enough shape to draw whatever it is that he plans for it. But I do remember him saying that he wanted Black Clover to be as long as like One Piece at a certain point. So that being said, I don't think it's going to get to that point at all. But we could have potentially, depending on where he goes, at least another 200 to 400 chapters. So while Black Clover is ending and this is the final arc, we really don't know the direction that he could take with this. Like, it could be a whole lot more to it. But because of the story moment that he left it off on, ending the Spade Kingdom arc. What's the little demon's name? Adremelech. Um, taking
Adrenaline
Lucifer.
hitting, yeah, taking Lucifero's heart,
Mm-hmm.
dipping off with that. You get, I mean, in this chapter, you get a great moment between, um, Yuno and his mother. and them pretty much being like, "Yo, can you please come back and rule the kingdom?" And and you get a wrapping up moment. I feel like with like a closure moment with Lieb and Asta talking
Yep.
about his mom. So you both get this moment of these two orphans having some closure with that, like having some closure
Yeah.
with their
And
parents,
being
having some
able to
closure with their
bond with their
past.
mother.
Yeah, being able to bond with their moms and all that, and then but both of them not letting that moment overtake the fact that they both have this set goal of becoming the Wizard King.
Hmm.
And then you pop back
Pop
to the
back,
kingdom,
check
see
in on
Julius,
Julius.
check in on Julius, the current Wizard King, and as they're talking, they've just gone through this battle fighting the pillars of hell,
Yeah.
the strongest demons from hell, and then you you get that, okay, they have Lucifero, who's known to gravity magic. You get Beelzebub of spatial magic, and
Hmm.
then Astaroth of time magic. So
Yep.
now we only know one person here that has some time magic,
Yep.
and all these things come crashing down as we figure out that King Julius, the current Wizard King, is really the third ruler of hell.
Yep. He was the missing demon who left, and Megikulo, the demon who killed Noel's mother, took his spot. So now with everything is coming back full circle, we get to see that Julius is actually that person. And I think it's kind of a great moment of us getting his real name of Lucius Zorgratis and seeing a new type of grimoire with two spades floating on top of each other. I think this is all culminating together. He leaves it on such a great cliffhanger to where we're fighting the current Wizard King. We don't know how long he's really been Wizard King for real, because we haven't seen any other Wizard Kings before him other than the first one. We get to see that he is, because he's the current Wizard King, and Austin, make their declarations of wanting to become the Wizard King. He is their final test at this point in the story. Like, this is literally them like taking up the mantle, depending on how he wants to write it. It's all set up for success. I think it's just a great enough cliffhanger to where once Black Clover comes back, I think it'll generate enough hype, or it should generate enough hype for people to get interested in me. Like, okay, let's see where this story actually goes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Black Clover is actually trying to build up to something. Let's see where it actually goes. So I think
No,
it'd be
yeah.
perfect.
I like how they gotta kill the current Wizard King to become Wizard King. I like
Yeah,
that. I like that they gotta take the head off the current king just to so that spot could free up, and whoever's
exactly.
gonna get that new spot.
If they even kill him, like, that's the crazy part.
Nah,
They
they
might
got
they
to.
they might figure out a way to separate these two, because like it seemed like he had a little personality switch. So, you know,
Yeah.
but
Nah,
yeah,
but what you call it? I don't know. Yeah, it was a good chapter though. But
yeah,
like we said, this how it ended. I think the how they wrapped up the current arc, how they bring you into the new arc, even though they're going on this extensive break, they did it better than everybody else in terms of setting themselves up for future success.
yeah,
Um, My Hero did a good job doing the same thing.
yeah,
I like the fact that we get some brother banter between these two. I like Shoto being able to acknowledge his shortcomings. I like the fact that Toya makes this very personal.
yeah,
Um, I like that you see that this weighs on Shoto way more than he may let on. Uh, This this is kind of the moment I've more been waiting for. I understand like Toya's like hatred for his dad and whatnot, but you never really understood why he had a qualm with his brother who really ain't do shit.
yeah,
And then now you kind of understand that it's just more so a situation of he's mad at his brother for as essentially kind of not taking the same route as him, of him just enduring the punishment.
yeah. And it's like, also in addition to that, it's like he was never built that way. He was always fundamentally different because of Endeavor's, experimenting with wanting to create something that was better than All Might. So that's why when he brings up the line of, "Hey, Shoto, are you a fan of All Might?" and he comes around the corner and hits him with a "I am," and then it's just like a smoke screen. They get into the fight, and then you're just seeing Dobby using some moves of Endeavor's himself. Like he knocked Shoto into a building, and just the back and forth banter between him and Shoto as he's using the flash fire himself, and then you get the close up moment with Shoto. You were nice enough to take a close look at me, like you were really following all of my movements. Like you see him. It's just a really good chapter between Shoto and Dabi. I think them using their special attacks, Shoto using his own move called Phosphorus, Dobby using some moves like Endeavor. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all of a good, just a really good chapter, man. Like solid.
No, it was a solid chapter. I think that they once again they're giving us a different angle of this story that I feel they've told already, but seeing Shoto really step up in this moment and understanding how big this is, like bigger than rap for him. He's kind of just like,
Yeah.
like this is the moment I really got to let go and kill my past. Like I got to let go of like the burden that this family puts on me.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you see a clash of two people who are victims of a abusive situation, but they both handled it and took it differently, and it has that same situation has led both of them on two different paths, and seeing their paths finally cross, and even seeing the feelings that they have towards each other. Because I mean, like I think Choto loves his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to help save him, but at the same time, he's kind of like, I understand you're too far gone this path that you are on right now, so you
Yeah.
gotta move on.
Yeah.
Speaking of family, Blue Box gets to number 3.
Yeah. That was that's a tough chapter, man.
It was messy. It's a lot of messiness going on. It's getting
Yeah.
messy. It's a
Yeah.
listen, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought high school would get like this?
I mean, this could be on some Teen Nick, man. You feel me? Like,
Yeah, some T Nick. This is definitely a T Nick show. No, you are absolutely correct. This is definitely some T Nick shit right here. This is definitely some Saved by the Bell. This is some goddamn Boy Meets World. This could definitely be on some T Nick. Um,
Oh man,
right now this school festival is it's just there's a layer of spice to it now.
yeah, like,
Um, with especially with Taki and him trying to balance chi and doing this play with Hina.
hmm
This nigga say anything to Hina, she be getting weak at the knees.
yeah, man. Anything like this man just being responsible, and she's just like, ooh, I like that.
My man for real. And then, he runs into Chi. Chi, this boy over here having fantasies.
hmm
You get Hina and Chi, they finally get this little face off.
Yeah. Then you got well, you got Taiki because Cheese class is doing a maid little cafe, or they're holding a cafe, but the typical people when they have their the typical
The
manga
maid
usually,
fits on.
yeah, they have the maid fits on. He has a little imagination going. Like I don't blame him. Like he was like, wait,
I don't blame him. That
my
boy
man.
couldn't control it.
He said maybe I might have to pull up. I don't know
He
yet.
is like, I don't know. I might be hungry. You don't know.
Ah,
You
that shit crazy.
don't know. I think, but I think the biggest part of this chapter though is um a moment between Chi and her mom,
Yeah,
and like Chi's mom really giving her, like, really, inadvertently, she don't know, but she's giving Chi some real advice.
yeah. Because all they do, they watching TV while they're doing it. They just having a whole chat like,
Yeah, she's like, yo, listen, don't be leading people on.
yeah, you gotta, you can't be leading people on, man.
And she's like, listen, you either gotta be 2 feet in or 2 feet out. Don't be over here. Don't be non-committal. Don't be
Yep,
playing with people's hearts like that. It's unfair. It ain't cool. Now Chi over
exactly.
here all sick because she's like, dang, like, yeah. He was like, listen, am I being unfair to everybody around? Am I being fair to Taki? Am I being unfair to Hina? She was just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore.
She
Next,
even
this
thought was
decision gonna
like
be
they weren't
big.
even going out yet.
She's like, man, for real. She's like, bro, y'all ain't even doing nothing. They still not going out
They not.
technically. But Hina, I mean, listen, shout out to Hina. She shot the first. I mean, she fired the first shot. She was like, listen, I'm not gonna play around with you.
Now the question is, who is Taiki really talking about at the end of the chapter?
Who was Taki really talking about at the end of the chapter?
Yeah, because all he says at the end is like, I wonder if I should try contacting her. But what would I even say? Who is he actually talking about? Do you
Oh,
think
he's talking about Chi for sure. He ain't worried about Hina.
I don't know,
He ain't
man.
worried about Hina at all. He's not
Just
worried
to
about
throw a
Hina.
little doubt in
He's
there,
one.
like what
He is a one track minded human being. He is one track minded. He don't give
man.
no damns about anybody else other than Chi right now. Hina is a second thought, afterthought to this man.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
Chi dubs this nigga, he gonna be sick because he's not gonna win. Hina gonna feel like a consolation prize to him.
You right. You
And then
right.
Hina's gonna be sitting there sick because she's like, dang, I like this dude. And he not giving me no time of day because he's so fixated on Shorty. It's gonna be crazy. But if T goes, okay, I like you too, and then just kind of comes out with it, I think Hina will be able to take that L better than I feel Chi will. I think Hina already kind of just like, I don't like, yeah, man.
I don't know if Hina could take that L because she's not really used to losing.
Who, Hina?
Yeah, she's not used to losing. Like, remember, she's like a good ass gymnast. I
She
don't think
gonna have
she.
to. I mean, listen, she gonna have to take this
That's gonna be
L on this one.
her.
That boy, as soon as Chi say something to Taki about wanting to get together, once again, everything else is getting shut down.
Mm,
Sometimes you gotta shut the fun down and get ugly on these hoes and eat. That's
you're
what
right.
he's about to say. He's about to shut all the fun down. He about to shut it all down. She come over there and be like, you know what, Taki, let's do this. Good luck. Good luck talking to my mans. You are not seeing him ever.
Blocked. Why?
He's
Why?
he's locked in, bro. He probably really one of those friends that what you will call it. Yeah, he's definitely one of those friends that disappears once he gets a girl.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that, man. Sometimes you be like, all right, I'll see y'all.
Yeah, that's it. That nigga he about to be laid up. He about to be laid up. Shout out to
I'm
that
out the
boy.
streets. I'm out the streets.
Yeah, he's done. He gave up. Streets is done for my man's. Streets has nothing for him anymore.
Man,
He is like, why am I doing this? There's no reason for me to do this.
it'd be a sad day if he end up with neither. He just got to turn future.
No, what's crazy is that there's a high possibility of him ending up with neither one of them.
Hey, man.
He's not handling this situation well at all.
He's not. He's not.
He's trying his best. I know that he's trying to, but he's also getting dealt a bad hand. He's dealing with two
They're tens.
completely.
They're both tens in their own way, bro. Like,
It's not even that. It's just like he's dealing with two people who are like they're two different types of hot and cold. Like he got one over here that's kind of just like, listen, I like you. I don't care if you don't like me. Like I like you, and that's all that matters. And you got someone that's like back and forth of like, I don't know if I like you or not. That's a hard situation to juggle.
yeah.
He's trying his best, but even him, he's all like, one day like, man, you know what? I'm done with Chi. I'm finna just focus on badminton. I'm finna just focus on being the best, and she'll come when I'm the best. Then other days he's like, oh, I miss her. I want her to be with me. And then the other day he's like, dang, Hina kind of bad. Okay, I see you. He's like, no, I have to stay focused on Chi because if I lose my focus, then she's gonna be away forever.
And then it goes right back to badminton.
Yeah, then it goes right back to badminton.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
know Loki should just she should just red shirt this year. Chi gone next year anyways. She's gonna be out anyways. Just red shirt this
Hey,
year. He just got a
yeah.
red shirt this year with Taki. Let him have his little year of fun with Chi. Then she's gone. She's off to college next year.
She
Oh,
got the game from that point.
he got to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, she just got to eat 1 year. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. She can eat 1 year.
Mm,
Man, last on the top four. That's how I'm gonna end that one. She just needs to eat that year, bro.
yeah.
Last on the top four, Ashiman. Once again, this manga has been putting up crazy numbers. This week it was nuts, literally nuts. Like a badger really let his nuts hang.
Hmm. Hey man.
Ashiman reached Chainsaw Man levels this week.
Yeah, you can definitely see the influence. You can.
It reached Chainsaw Man levels this week. You can listen. Fujimoto's influence is touching all parts of the world right now.
Yeah, man. But not only that, man. I'm happy that we're getting a little bit more depth about the Corey hotels and a little bit more about their history, because they are a service that combines both what tanukis and kitsune, which are like the Japanese foxes. So now they both work together. They can manifest here as either one, and all the people who are employed are either kitsune or tanuki. So they hiring in, they supporting their own community. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. Like they've been handling business, but when it comes down to them, trying to meet with the Corey Hotel's owner, it ain't all as what it's cracked up to be. You meet up with this guy. What's his name? Tamagawa. He shows up in a room. They put him on like a little a CRT. They put him up on the CRT, and he's talking to him through the TV. He's like, "Hey, I need y'all to really just understand the situation that y'all are in. Like, y'all only got 7 minutes of my time. Anything after that, like, I gotta go." He's a real businessman.
He told them niggas to get off the block, bro. He said, "Listen, y'all got 7 minutes of my time. They obviously the Corey Hotel group. They're running the hotels. They put Cotton in them, all in this really nice executive suite. My guy pops up. He's like, "Yo, Cotton, what's good?" He's like, here this guy. Um, Cotton's very upset to be dealing with this, but he's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I ain't got a lot of time. Time is money, and money is time. Um, I need y'all to get out of Kanto, the whole region. There's
Yeah,
a nice little spot up north that you can go to. Y'all can you know what I'm saying? Y'all can go do your little thing. We already cut, ties to the syndicate. We over here, we running our own little organization, getting our money right. Y'all coming over here stirring up trouble. Can't really have that because your trouble is gonna mess up my money, and I really ain't with my money getting messed up. And so essentially they're like, nah, we not finna do that. And it was like, I figured y'all would say that. Y'all kind of making life a little hard for me. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get trapped in this badger's nutsack because the general manager, the the top dog that's running everything, his entire body, and his name is Goyobu Danuki. Um, essentially the whole hotel is a part of his body, and he, he grabs his nuts. They trap him in a room, and below them they got three human exorcists performing an exorcism
yep.
that will
Trying to seal them away.
that will seal them away for the next 1,000 years. And he was like, in the next 1,000 years, or no, not next
100.
100 years. And he was like, you know what? While you're sealed away, we gonna make some arrangements for you. So when you finally are able to get released, we'll drop you off where you need to be outside the Kanto region, and everybody will be okay. Um, and essentially, they're in this trap. We go back to Moro. He's finishing up his training. The telepathy that him and Big Sister got. She gives him a message like, "Yo, they're trapped, and now we're about to walk into this battle for at the hotel."
And now he's riding out with the gang, man. Like it's about to be an all out war against
Yeah, it's
Scorpio
about to
Hotel.
be. It's fun. We're getting back to some of the drama.
Yeah,
But this is kind of the first time too they're letting like Moro lead.
yeah,
Usually he's kind of in the, you know what I'm saying, like obviously he's the main character in the things that he's doing. It's more him taking orders. But like this is the first time you see him really take the lead and just be like, all right, we gotta go save these people. He doesn't have no help, doesn't have Cotton, he has no other extra leaders around him. It's just him doing his thing in Cotton's gang and the rest of the Todoroki alliance. So I'm excited to see where they go with this. I'm happy that he's back in the spotlight. You're putting a little bit more of the story's weight on his shoulders. I'm
yeah,
excited to see how he could carry it, especially because his character has been very his character's been pretty one dimensional, but not in a bad way. Just that's how his character is. So it's gonna be cool seeing him being in situations where you see like, okay, how is he gonna grow as a character? Like, how is this whole situation is gonna change him in totality? So yeah, it's gonna be a fun little chapter.
yeah. Definitely. I can't wait to see the where this arc goes. You know, it's always been fun with Ayashima, man. You really can't go wrong with that.
You can't. They've been killing it. Ashimon is definitely one of the ones where like, all right, you can tell early on that it was something special, but like to see it now, especially where the story's at and the pace that's picking up, like Ashimon's really cementing itself as something that Shonen Jump could, I'm sure, can rely on immediately. I mean, it's top 25
Yeah,
already for Q1 for Volume One.
yeah,
So it's obviously showing some really great promise, and I hope they keep this pace up.
definitely.
The last four One Piece Vigilantes, Undead Unluck, Baruto, all did some really fun things and kind of left each other left off at some good spots. Obviously, Vigilantes is about to wrap up, so
Hmm.
where they're ending at is more of a it, it's gonna be exciting to see where Kochi goes with the rest of the story. You obviously him and Pop have this moment between each other that was really beautiful. Pop finally gaining the courage of just saying her feelings. And Kochi just kind of also teetering with this idea of finally getting a chance to be a real hero.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like it's a great moment, man. All of this together. We get Koichi, waking up from everything. He asks about what happened with number six. They really couldn't find anything about him. You got Captain Celebrity coming in, claiming him as his sidekick, also as sort of an NDA because he's not a licensed person, he's not a licensed hero, but he was obviously seen helping the heroes and doing other things with the heroes, even though he wasn't licensed. So, you know, Captain Celebrity comes in to try to brush everything over, use him as like leverage, not leverage, but as a cover saying, hey, he was working for me all of these times, like when he was at the mall or when he was performing these arts for us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he was always there working for him. So, it's a good cover story for Koichi. I'm happy that he was able to help him out in that way. That he got Pop giving him the All Might hoodie, the one that he never had, but he has this moment of saying like, you know, I think I'm done with this. I think I'm about to grow up a little bit. And Pop didn't really get a chance to get off her feelings for real at that point. But then she ran back to the room to really say how she felt. Then she looked at him, actually put on the hoodie, and she jumps on him, starts crying. Man, it's a really touching moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah. Vigilantes looks like it's gonna wrap up on a good note. I don't know how many more chapters is left. Maybe is it one more?
I want to say it is, but you know, I we
Excited to
haven't
see
seen.
where it goes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, One Piece. Oda's trolling us a bit because he knows he could have easily wrapped this up real quickly. But hey, man, Oda's doing his Oda thing. I think the this chapter, with Momo really having to tap in and grow up a bit and being like, man, listen, this is fight isn't just Luffy's, it's my fight too. Like I gotta really step up and do my thing.
Hmm.
Um, and you can see Momo kind of having this, throughout this chapter, he was really struggling with his own confidence, and that was the biggest thing of just like knowing like, oh man, like I want someone else to do it, and him even going back and you having a flashback of when he had to get sent forward in time, and even him saying telling them like, yo, somebody else do it, like I don't want to do it, like please, like I can't do this alone. um and then by the end of this chapter, Luffy and Kaido's battle is still going on. And you see Luffy just make his fist as the size of an island, and he just tells Momo like, "Hey, I need you to bring the island over here because I'm about to punch through it, and I'm gonna punch Kaido through it." And have this Momo of just telling him like, "Yo, I believe in you." So you get Momo part of him carrying his weight and making this final battle, like him being a part of it. So a really good chapter. Once again, is fun.
Uh,
Oda could have easily wrapped this up, but
mm,
hey,
I mean, it's gonna go crazy for the anime. The anime has been doing numbers. I think this is all like good content for when the anime really dramatizes everything. Like the I'm about to binge the rest of the anime because Wano animation has been spectacular. So I'm not complaining about the chapter. I can't complain about this chapter. I really want to see where this part goes, especially when we have the point where Kaido is beating up on Luffy, and he just conveniently drops that and says, "Roger didn't have any devil fruit powers. He was just straight hockey.
oh
He was
yeah,
really just
Roger,
out."
Roger was straight hockey in hands, bro. Straight
Like
hockey in hands.
I'm
That's
saying,
hard. Shout out to Roger. Straight
like
hockey in hands, man. Like he had to do what he had to do.
yeah, like we can't like he was the king for a reason. You just can't let that go. But yeah, man, I think it was a solid chapter all in all. Like Momo having his moment, you know, him even saying like, I'm still young, like this is not my job, and Kinemon and them going, like let us have this honor because they were really that close with Odin. They didn't really want to disappoint their lord. That was their man. So yeah, man, solid chapter from One Piece.
Tough. Um, Undead Unluck and Baruto get the bottom two of the 7 and 8. Undead Unluck, flashback chapter with Rip. You kind of see the reason why he, betrayed his folks. I think it was a great flashback because the moment his flashback was great because you really see the moment in which his powers awakening at the
Yeah,
wrong time of
performing
him
surgery.
performing surgery on his best friend, the love
Mm,
of his life, and she dies on the table. And he knows that with the power of the arc, that he can bring her back or attempt to bring her back one more time. And he
yeah,
knew that to do that, especially with Ragnarok coming, that he had to make a business decision,
yeah.
which is understandable.
And it really makes me want to learn more about there because Ragnarok is obviously coming, and they've been teasing that there's only one more time loop in this story or whatever. So I want to know if they ever hit this time loop, what would that look like? Are we going to see those characters that everybody lost in their past? Like, are they going to come back? Are they going to try to save everyone and get another chance to try to save everyone? Like, how is that going to look? So and with that in mind, I could see Undead Unluck. I don't know where Undead Unluck is going at this point, but I think it's a good, solid stopping point for this break.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think they could have chose something a little different, just a little.
I mean, it's the
It's
flashback that we've been waiting for so long in itself because we've been getting hints of Rip's flashback throughout the story, but not really knowing the details of it. And it's the first time that we're actually getting like some of the things. Like even with last chapter when we got Nico betraying everyone, because we see a spirit of whoever is close to him from the chapter before that. It's like there are so many details and points that have come up just from this last few chapters that are like just clashing together, and it's like we're getting this
no,
out of
no,
all
yeah, you're
times.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I hear what you're saying. You're right,
Yeah,
definitely on that one. Um, and then lastly, Baruto gets it. Definitely was better than Dragon Ball Super, which I felt was you just showed Bardock. Bardock's just like Goku, and Goku's just like Bardock in terms of being slight idiots, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. The Baruto chapter though was really good. You you have there's I think they had a lot of they had some fatherly moments with people who are not good fathers. You see fathers being better fathers to kids that are not theirs. It's great. Um
Yeah.
it's
It's
absolutely amazing. Ada pulls up though. They are now attacking the village. They got my guys in a tight spot with Ada being as powerful as she is. Delta's having some issues with her.
hmm
Code got Ahmad by the throat and he stabs him with his thumb. A lot of
hmm
just shenanigans going on. You get a moment between Sasuke and Boruto, and you get a moment between Kawaki and Naruto where
Yep.
they're kind of they're comforted. They're giving comfort once again. It's a father son's moment with niggas with the wrong kid.
Yeah. Pretty much.
um, yeah, and then at the end, they at the end, Ida just really just says like, "Listen, I like Kawaki, and I'm only helping Code out because I know it'll get me closer to Kawaki." And Shikamaru sees this, and it's like he finesses a plan, and it's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, listen, Kawaki's already on our side. If you just come to our side, you wouldn't even have to deal with any of that. You wouldn't even have to deal with Code.
Yeah.
He's like, you can just come over here and you help us out. We already got him. So he's obviously not gonna come with y'all easily. So
Yeah.
fun chapter. It was cool.
Yeah. Definitely. Um, there's a lot of key things in there. Like I think the one of the key moments is like Sasuke giving Boruto the actual headband from chapter one that we see, like him actually telling him, like, yeah, you can hold on to it this time. And then just like you said, the father son with Naruto and Kawaki. You got Sarada on the side saying like, I'm kind of jealous. Like that's my dad. Like we ain't even talking. Um,
That nigga don't
you know,
fuck with her.
yeah, it's just some crazy stuff like that, man. And then you get some moments about the girl with Naruto. She hears that Boruto killed or Kawaki killed Boruto, but that's a detail that could get out. You know what I mean? Like they're setting up like little details here and there, especially about Ada's powers and how she can affect the mind. But because Shikamaru can use his shadow on her, that's not a direct attack that can harm her. So it's like it's stuff like that, man. There's a lot of little details here and there that make this chapter kind of good for like the next month. Definitely better than Super for sure. Like they set up something with Bardock and this scouter, and it's just like, yeah, nah, re-rock.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. I don't care about Dragon Ball Super. It
Yeah,
was whatever.
yeah.
Before we wrap up though, we didn't mention it in the news section. Didn't mention it at all. But Haikyuu
Oh
10-year
yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. They got a special chapter that dropped.
So that was cool.
I'm gonna read Haikyuu this year at some point, man.
I've been heavy on my sports stuff, so it's gonna get on the list somehow. I might need
Listen,
to watch it. I think I'm not feeling it manga wise. I think I just need to watch it.
it is good emotion. It is definitely really good emotion.
But it's cool, They do this whole all star team battle. Yeah, you see my boy Hanada. He's over here in Brazil doing his thing.
You got Kageyama on the other side.
Yeah, it's it's cool. They doing some fun stuff with it. It looked
Yeah,
like a as a person who has not completely finished Haikyuu yet, but it looked like a fun. I don't know if they doubling up or are we getting another chapter after it because they only show them collecting all the players and getting the team set. They don't actually show the game.
we might.
So,
So they might do something like Prince of Tennis now because they're wrapped up. They might do something like maybe a Prince of Tennis sequel, maybe a 10-year anniversary. Maybe
well,
they'll
this
come
was their
around for
10-year.
not like I'm not well another anniversary, or maybe they'll
Oh
do
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
Special Olympics chapter or something. You know what I mean? Like they could do something like that.
That's true. That's true. Facts. Well, this is this week episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. You know what's funny is that Trojan X dropped while we were doing this episode.
Hold
It
up.
just dropped.
All right, so we're gonna have to recut this whole episode.
But no,
we
thank you
hold
guys.
on. Hold up, real quick before you end it for real. Like, well, no, I'll talk to you after that. Go ahead and end it.
Thank you for listening this week of the Big Eyes Podcast. Make sure you follow the Lookout RNC. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. AD, what's the sign off?
Please read more manga, watch more anime, and be on the lookout. Only on the lookout for the Big Eyes Podcast.